Whenever I go camping, I specifically choose places farther away from everything to avoid any kind of light pollution so I can stargaze and take pictures of the dark sky. Besides that, I also like the meditational part of being in the middle of nowhere. Today, I like to talk about budget friendly astrophotography that you don't necessarily need a telescope. If you already have a digital camera, even a smartphone, there are multiple ways to capture the dark sky. Lowering your shutter speed and long exposuring with any camera will give you great results if you are in a rural area away from the light pollution. Earth is constantly moving. For this reason, there will be long exposure time limits depending on your focal length. When you long expose a moving object, you will lose the sharpness and you will have star trails like this one. For long exposuring more than 30 seconds, you will need a device called Star Tracker. This device goes between your tripod and your camera, and this way it can rotate your camera in the counter direction of the Earth's rotation at the same speed while recording. I will try to capture M81 and M82 galaxies tonight with this 75 to 300 millimeter Canon kit lens, and I have a Canon 650D camera. Both camera and the lens are extremely cheap. Uh, Also, my lens and camera is around 3 kilos, so I will use a balancing weight arm to help my tracker's engine because the loading limit is 3 kilos for the specific tracker. By the way, you can still take pictures of the deep sky object without a star tracker. I actually made a video about this, and I will include the tutorial link in the description if you don't have a star tracker and still want to take pictures of the deep sky objects. First thing after setting up my camera, I need to align my star tracker towards the star Polaris by using the alignment scope, and the console app comes with the tracker. I also wanted to mention that this specific tracker can only be controlled by a smartphone. It works with both iPhone and Android devices through Wi-Fi. And another important detail that your tripod needs to be leveled to the ground by using the level guide on the tracker's mouth. Instructions for polar alignment was pretty straightforward. When you go with the app, it took around maybe 10 minutes to find and align to Polaris with the scope and the red illuminator light. Also, Stellarium app helped me a lot where the star Polaris at the beginning. Last thing, I need to make sure the weight is equally balanced so I won't put too much weight on the rotation engine. After polar alignment and weight balancing is done, you're basically free to move your camera wherever you want with the ball head or the declination bracket. I already found my target and getting some test shots with 120 seconds long exposure each. And the test shot looks like that. This is a 300 millimeter focal length and there's no star trailing. I also connected the star tracker to the camera with the snap cable, so I don't need an intervalometer to take continuous shots. Everything is controlled by the app, and make sure your camera is on bulb mode and your parameters are all set, such as exposure time and intervals. When you're ready, press run and the star tracker will start working. Now I will just lay back and enjoy the campfire while my camera is tracking and capturing 120-second long exposure images for the next 5 hours. Open Sequator stacking software, which is completely free. I will find my files. All my raw pictures are here. I will click open, and I will click out, double click output to save and name the file, the final file. There are some basic settings that I use that actually you can test by yourself because there's no certain specific answer for astrophotography. The settings can be different from object to object, or if you're taking a nebula, it might be different. But after stacking, we have this giant TIFF file that I'm gonna open it with Photoshop, and it's pretty huge actually, like almost 300 megabyte the size. This process called stretching, it's basically you use the level on Photoshop just to stretch the all information in the histogram that you can see. I'm just trying to press levels again and again just to stretch slowly without losing any information. By the way, I'm using Command L for shortcut to the levels, or Control L on Windows. After stretching, I realized my image is getting red and reddish colors, so you can check your red levels from the same window, actually the levels window, that you can manage your greens, your blues, your red in a different channel. I will go ahead and use the camera raw filter to get more details. Also, as you can see, there are like purple fringing of the every star has some type of purple surrounding lens mistake, I can say. You can get rid of that by using the defringing in the raw filter window. I will also get rid of the vignetting and the camera distortion a little bit, and I will also increase my clarity. I will do this thing again to get a little bit more clarity and maybe some contrast to get a little more details. Again, this specific settings can be okay for galaxy pictures, but it might not work good if you're, for example, if you're
capturing the nebula Orion, which is like extremely bright. The thing about Photoshop, you need to find your own setting. Every color grading for every image is different, especially in astrophotography. I think that's it. This is simply just you can edit your astrophotography, stacked astrophotography pictures.